From Software have released their first edition to Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree. This DLC instantly won critical acclaim and broke all records, scoring 95 points out of 100 possible on Metacritic in a matter of days. What was it that managed to win over the critics so much? Let's find out in our review of Shadow of the Erdtree for Elden Ring. The plot in From Software games has always been one of the most discussed topics. For a newcomer, understanding what's going on can be a challenge, because even dialogues and item descriptions don't always give a complete picture. However, that is the charm of the games created by Hidetaka Miyazaki. Shadow of the Erdtree continues the tradition of previous projects, offering players a deep dive into the world and solving its mysteries. The DLC centers on the story of Mikella the Unwrapped, who once merged with the Erdtree and now sleeps in a cocoon. He has left his body and traveled to the Shadowlands in search of his mother, Queen Marika. It is up to the players to follow him to discover his intentions. Along with Mikella, his 7 followers have also traveled to this mysterious world, each of whom will help shed light on many of the mysteries of the Elden Ring's main plot. How to get to the Shadowlands, finding the portal in the sacred snowfield. Our path lies in the sacred snowy field, a bonus part of the region at the top of the giants. To get here, your hero must be well pumped. Let's start in order. Collecting the secret medallion of the holy tree. The left side of the medallion is located in Castle Sol on the Peaks of Giants, which you will get after defeating Commander Nil. The right side of the medallion is located in the Albanor village in Lake Liurnia. Find an old man named Albus, disguised as a jug. Use the medallion. Combine the 2 parts of the medallion and head to the place of grace, Rold's Great Lift. Select the Pick Up the Secret Medallion option. Reach the sacred snowy field. Make your way through the blizzard and aggressive locals to the western edge of the snowy field. Find the portal at the cliff behind the local small Erdtree. Defeat a phantom named Bloody Aristocrat who should appear near the portal. As long as he is alive, the portal will not work. Portal interaction. Use the portal, which will transport you to the outskirts of the palace. From there, you will only have to walk to the arena with Mog. Either the quest, White-Faced Vare. This method requires invading another player in the form of a red phantom, online only. Defeat any boss and obtain the Great Rune. Head to the Temple of Roses on Lake Liurnia, where you will be met by Vare. He will give you a quest requiring the use of rotten, bloody fingers. Invade the world of other players 3 times. You can also enter the world of Magnus Claw of the Beast in the Bloody Ruins location on the Altus Plateau. The Grace of the Bloodlord. Vara will give you an artifact to dip into the blood of the Finger Maid. Find the maid's body in the Temple of Restraint in northeastern Liurnia. Return to Vara, swear allegiance to the Might, and receive the Knight of the Pureblood medal. Var will teleport you to Mogwyn's palace. Choose the appropriate option and access the Shadow of Erdtree DLC. There are no dramatic changes in graphics and gameplay. It's the same Elden Ring we know and love. However, the developers have added a new independent region that is not connected to Middle-earth. At first acquaintance, the region may seem small, but it is far from it. The scale of the add-on is impressive. It will take you 30-40 hours to pass through it, and the difficulty of local bosses will add a few more days to this time. The addition puts a special emphasis on the verticality of locations, a lot of dungeons and places where you will have to jump. Due to the compactness of the region, it doesn't look empty like some locations in the main game. The design of Land of Shadows is incredibly beautiful and gloomy, which will make you stop and admire the local scenery. One of the unique features of the DLC were the enhancers scattered in various locations. Shards of the Tree of Decay give bonuses to attack and defense, while Ashes of Glorious Spirit boosts your Phantom comrades. These bonuses only apply in the Shadowlands. There are also new armor, weapons, and spells in the game. Bosses are From Software's trademark, and Shadow of the Erdtree has more than 10 new ones, which dramatically changes the game's difficulty. These battles will be a real challenge even for experienced players. As before, they will have different phases and unique movesets that will have to be learned by heart. The developers warned in advance that it will be hard. So, If you thought that in the original game you became too strong and lost the challenge, in Shadow of the Erdtree, all confidence will quickly fly away. A couple 3 missed blows from the boss and you're welcome to the bonfire, so you shouldn't expect an easy walk and a quick massacre of all opponents. Actually, the complexity of the game and became the main reason for criticism from gamers. This was the reason that angry players dropped the DLC rating in Steam to 64%. Let's break down this point separately. So, the difficulty. This is the main reason for the hit. According to players, the excessive complexity of battles with bosses killed all the fun of the game. They said that the joy of overcoming difficulties in hardcore was replaced by stuffiness. The long-awaited victory brings not joy, but a sense of frustration. The thing is that the bosses have too high characteristics, because of which fights with them are delayed up to half an hour and more, and the player himself can fly off after a couple of blows. Gamers also complained about the inconvenient camera, reuse of resources, and the lack of cinematic scenes before and after battles with bosses. There were also complaints about optimization and FPS sags. Note that the issue of difficulty has caused some controversy among players. Those guys who like the addition completely immediately accuse the haters of casualness and crookedness. But it is better not to get into this eternal dispute. Is the difficulty of Shadow of the Erdtree a reason to skip the DLC? Definitely not. This is a great addition from Software, which justifies all expectations of loyal fans. The level design is stunning, and the graphics are superb. The combat system remains just as well thought out, but the bosses, collect shards of the fallen tree and ashes of the valiant spirit. Use the ashes and summon NPCs. If you have the right skills, it will all work out. What has Uncle Miyazaki taught us all these years? You can find an approach to every boss and defeat makes us stronger. You can play the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC on PC, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X and S.